Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. It's team news time as we look ahead to the Game Week 21 deadline, which is in 2 or 3 hours. We're recording this, we're streaming this rather at 3 p.m. on Tuesday. The deadline is at 6:30, I believe it is. My name is Joe, and as ever, I'm joined by Fantasy Football Scout's editor, Neale. Neale, welcome. How are you?
Good, thank you, Joe. Yes, not too bad. Looking forward to the break that follows this period after tonight. But we have, for once, unlike previous weeks, we've got most of the team news. Three are outstanding, and we'll explain why shortly.
And we'll have a look at those a bit later. Before we go on, just a reminder, do press that like button, does help us out, and do leave us a 5-star review if you're listening to the podcast version. Also, do check out latest membership offers at fantasyfootballscout.co.uk to get access to all the latest tools and gadgets to help you climb up your mini leagues. And also, do remember to subscribe, keep update with our latest content as well. Welcome to Octavius, Dennis, FPL Saint, Brian, Neale, Lucas, J77, Lag, Historia, Kenya, and many, many more. Thanks so much for joining us early in the stream. Let's move on swiftly. So I know you've got to get back and do your predicted lineups and things like that. So tonight's game, West Ham against Nottingham Forest. What is the latest from West Ham?
Yeah, Nuno said yesterday that we'll have check on Todibo and Lucas Paquetá. I think I saw Paquetá in the training gallery yesterday, so that's hopefully a good sign. Diouf and Wan-Bissaka, they're still at the Africa Cup of Nations, and Fabianski's still got a back injury. And the two new arrivals, two strikers, Castellanos and Pablo, are hoping to make their debuts in some capacity.
Okay, right, yeah. And as for Nottingham Forest, what are the travelling side looking like?
Yeah, they'll check on Hudson-Odoi, who's got a knock to the Achilles. Wood is out. Yates, we think so as well. And Bolly and Sangari, again, still on international duty. Odoi, Dyche previously suggested he would be back for this one or have a chance. And I think he's posted a match day graphic today, so that suggests he is. And the big talking point from Forest at the weekend was the goalkeeping situation, because John Victor decided to come out 40 yards, give away a goal for Villa, and potentially got injured in the process. Nottingham Post report that he's got a calf issue. Dyche didn't confirm that in the quotes we've seen from yesterday's presser. And all he would say was about the contest between him and Sells. But either way, injury or not, I'll be surprised if Sells isn't starting.
Yes. We don't know about that extent of that injury either. So, Bournemouth against Tottenham. I guess the big talking point here is this looks like it's going to be finally Semenyo's final game for Bournemouth.
Yeah, even his manager was admitting that today, and he's sort of played a straight back for most of this period, but he said that there's a good chance this is going to be his last game, but he will be involved in this game. Crucially, if you've got him, like I have, he'll be involved. Someone who won't be, and this will be interesting when Semenyo leaves regarding the penalty situation, is Justin Kluivert. So he's undergone knee surgery, or will undergo knee surgery this week. And will be out for a while. Not sure the exact timeline, but it'll be some period. So who will inherit pens? Other than that, no fresh worries, and they might get Milos Savljevic back. I think he's returned to training. I'll have a look to see how far along he is in that return to training. But Adams, Gannon Doak, Christie, and Dennis, they're still out.
Okay, that would boost minutes of Cooper Jr., you would imagine. Brooks, who's posting some very good underlying stats, more secure of minutes, and I think penalties could be Tavernier. He's taken them before and was looked to be next in line, so above the likes of Evan Nielsen. So I think it could be Tavernier there. What
Tom differential this week actually? So yeah.
Is he?
That's one of the reasons why.
We go.
Yeah.
And what's the latest from Spurs?
Spurs, yeah, one of the four that were yesterday, along with West Ham and Forest. And Thomas Frank said that Kudus is most likely going to miss out. Those are the exact words. Most likely. He's going to have a scan. We had a scan yesterday to determine the extent of his thigh injury. So we're probably going to be out. Madison Kulusevski still out. Sarr and Basuma still at the African Cup of Nations. A dog in Solanke, they're closer. So a doggy's running. I think he's even training. So he's close. Solanke is also training, but he's been out for a much longer period. And Frank said yesterday he's looking a little rusty in the small-sided games. And he won't be involved against Bournemouth. But thereafter, Game Week 22 onwards, we might see him.
Okay.
Oh, two words on bans, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Xavi's back from a 3-match suspension,
Hmm.
and Romero's still got this FA charge hanging over his head. He is available too for the time being.
Okay.
Spurs are appealing that.
Okay. What's that charge about? I completely missed that.
I can't remember the exact thing, but it was when he kicked off after his red card,
Oh, okay.
after
Rightio.
his second booking. So I think
Yeah.
disrepute or something like that. I don't know what the
Okay.
exact charge is, but yeah,
Usual
misconduct.
handbags then.
Yes.
Brentford against Sunderland. What's the latest from Brentford? Especially my favourite new player, Thiago.
Yeah, nothing much from Keith Andrews today. Actually, I did watch this all the way through. Plenty of mentions of Ego, about his form, about what he brings to the team, apart from goals, but nothing on his capacity to play 4 games in 12 days. Injury wise, Andrew said there was nothing new. So De Silva, Carvalho, and Malambo are still out, and Onyeka and Dango are at Africa Cup Nations.
Okay, and as for Sunderland, also, speaking of AFCON, another team that's
Yeah.
been affected by AFCON quite a lot, but we're starting to see some players, teams depart that tournament, some
Yeah.
players come back.
Yeah, one of them is a Macam, and that's Ronaldo Mandava. So he's a Mozambique side were eliminated last night. I don't think he'll be back for this one because that's a 48-hour turnaround, and he's got to get back to the UK. And indeed, this afternoon, Lewis was talking about more in terms of Everton and the FA Cup on Saturday. So I don't think we'll see him, but he's on his way back anyway. The other 5, they're still at the Africa Cup of Nations. So Masuaku, Siddiqui, Traore, Diarra, and Talbi. Dan Ballard came through his sub appearance fine after he returned from injury, and Wilson Isidore will be assessed in training today after missing out at the weekend with a minor issue.
Okay, let's move on to Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. From memory, Glasner tends to do well against Emery, but yeah, how are Crystal Palace ahead of the visit of Villa?
Certainly did well in the FA Cup semi, wasn't it last season when
Yeah.
they was it 3-0, I think the score was. Yeah, they are really down to their bare bones as if they weren't already. It's got even worse since the Newcastle game. They lost 2 more players. Jefferson Lerma has to serve the concussion protocol, so he will not be involved. Nathaniel Klein is out with a knock, so that's another 2 down. He's not expecting anyone back out of the following list. So Munoz, Cardinez, Kamara, Decore, Kapora, Riyad, Nketiah, and of course Ismail Assar is still in African Cup of Nations. They will get one player back in the squad. That's Chris Richards, but he's not going to be starting. Glasner confirmed that today. He had stitches in his foot.
Okay.
But he's going to be on the bench.
Okay. Okay. And meanwhile, Aston Villa, what's the latest there?
Yeah, they may get back 2 centre halves, at least one of them. Emery said that they're going to check on Pau Torres and Tyrone Mings in training today. They're very close to returns. Apart from that, though, Barkley's still out, Onana still out, Gesson still away at the Africa Cup of Nations, and I think that is it.
Okay, right, yeah. Let's move on to Everton against Wolves. What's David Moyes got to say for himself after their abject display last time out?
Yeah, Michael Keane came through. He's coming back unscathed. I know he'd only been out for 1 game, but Moyes said this afternoon that he wasn't sure about Keane before that match, but he has come through that.
Okay,
fine. He isn't expecting anyone back this week, so Dewsbury Hall, Alcaraz, Coleman, Branthwaite still injured, and and Garner Gay, they're still at the Africa Cup of Nations. He did say when talking about Keane that we've got to be careful with 3 games in 6 days, but then later in the presser he pretty much gave short shrift to rotation.
Yeah.
Saying we don't have European football, we're not as bad as several clubs as part of the job, he said. So I think he's one of the old school ones like Dyche who just poo-poos the notion of too much rotation.
Okay, right, yeah. And as for Wolves?
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much rotation here, but that's purely off the back of a 3-0 win over West Ham. 2 of the players who started in that match came off with injuries but have since trained. So João Gomez, the groin complaint, and Hwang Hee-chan, I think, got a knock to the calf. They've both trained. Edwards is hopeful of having them available. And he's not expecting anyone back, so Munetsi, Bentley, Gomez, Rodrigo Gomez, I've got a few Gomez's, Bellegarde, Totti Gomez, there's another one. They're all still out, and Agbadou is still on international duty.
Okay, whisking through this, Fulham against Chelsea. Let's go with the home side first, because there's usually not much from Fulham.
Yeah, one change from the weekend. Sessegnon's going to be back in the squad after a brief period out. About a month out, I think it was. Tete and King, they're not going to recover. Rodrigo Muniz is still out as well. And then again, international duty accounts for Bassi, Iwobi and Chukwueze.
Okay, and as for Chelsea, I mentioned this is a little longer. They got a new manager,
Yep.
although he didn't take this press conference, and also injury concerns over the likes of Sanchez and Cucurella.
Yeah, Rosina didn't take this press conference, and he won't be in charge for the Fulham match either. His first game is going to be the Cup game on Saturday or Sunday, whenever it is. So McFarlane was up, the interim boss, this morning, and he confirmed that Cucurella and Sanchez have trained and will train today. So they'll be assessed to see how they get on. Fafana as well, back from illness, he'll be assessed to see if he can feature. Caicedo's back from a one-match ban, so that leaves, I think, Isugu, Lavia, Colwell, and Mudryk on the sidelines.
Okay, so we think that Sanchez and Cucurella could start this one?
I mean, Sanchez has been out for such a short period of time that I would think so. I think he implied that he had trained already and then will train again today.
Okay.
Cucurella was, I think, spotted in training last Friday, even before the Liverpool match. So that's hopefully a good sign as well. Yeah.
Okay, righty-o. Man City against Brighton. Man City, they're short of numbers at the moment, especially at the back.
Yeah, they are very much so in defence. Hence I think the possible move for Mark Gahey in the transfer window. They've recalled Max Allain, I think his name is, from Watford in the meantime. But yeah, they are down big time because Josko Guardiola would have seen this last night. City confirmed that he's suffered a tibial fracture to his right leg, and he's going to undergo surgery this week. No official timeline, but Pep said today he's going to be out for a long time, and we're looking at months. So possibly the end of the season for Guardiola. Diaz is out as well, so his fellow centre half. He is out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury. John Stones, there's no sign of a return for him. So that nails down Ake and Kusanov for the time being, and O'Reilly at left back. At least until Nori returns from the Africa Cup of Nations, both him and Marmoush are still there. Mateo Kovacic is still out as well, and we think Oscar Bob and Savinho too. One boost, Nico Gonzalez is fit after he missed out in Game Week 20.
Okay. As for my side, Brighton, what is the latest there?
Yankuba Minty only has a minor chance to Hurtler featuring against City. And Matt Pfeiffer, even less than that, he's out with a toe injury.
Okay.
So Webster and Simas, they're long term. Solly March is near in a return. I think he's building up match fitness, isn't he, with the under-21s. Baleba still in national duty with Cameroon as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Hurtler saying that Mitoma was an option to start again, didn't necessarily mean he will. And he says that Gross is here to play. He's not here as a glorified cheerleader.
Oh, good. I was going to ask about that. What's he have to say about Pascal Gross?
He's brought in here to play. He's definitely an option. And he thinks his best position is centre mid, unsurprisingly.
Yes, good stuff. I suspect we might see quite a few starts for him. I don't know if he'll start this one. Maybe though. Maybe his excessive football brain may be needed for this one. Burnley against Manchester United. So, okay, I've got Burnley, so we can address that one, and then you can tell me about why I haven't got any Manchester United news yet.
Yeah, Burnley. Speaking of AFCON, they actually might get two of the first players back from there because the two of their representatives have been eliminated. So Hannibal's already back in the UK and trained this morning. So Tunisia were knocked out. Lyle Foster flies back today after South Africa were eliminated. Both going to be assessed to see if they can feature. Axel Twanzebe is still there in Morocco. Injuries, Scott Parker just had one line to say, and that he said everyone else is where we currently were. So that looks like Maxime Mesteve is still out. Same with Fleming, same with Worrell. And longer term, they've got Cullen, Bayer, Roberts, and Amdouni out as well.
Okay, so Manchester United, their press conference inconveniently is at 5:00, and we are streaming this at 3:00. So, is there any indication? Do we have anything ahead of that, or is it just a case of look out for social media posts and articles on Fantasy Football Scout ahead of deadline?
Yeah, we'll be poised ready to update the team news article when that comes. I mean, just before he left Amorim, he did hint that Mount and Fernandes could be back for this one. He wasn't. He was then pressed about whether Burnley was the game he was referring to, and then he shut up shop after that.
Okay.
But he hinted that those two were the closest to a return. So we'll see what Fletcher has to say, if anything, this afternoon. And Burmo and Mazraoui, their course, still on international duty, and Delict, Maguire, and Mainu are on the injury list as well. Mainu probably ahead of the other two, but we'll see what Fletcher says today at 5, an hour before the deadline.
Right, yeah, okay. So keep posted at Fantasy Football Scout for that. Newcastle against Leeds. Your side, Newcastle. What's the latest there?
Good news from Murphy. He came off with hamstring, I think awareness they called it on the day, but he has passed a scan. Really, nothing, no major injury found. And Howe said it was probably just fatigue. So it'll be a delayed decision on him, but they're hopeful of having him available. Not so with Alanga, the other right wing option. He looks set to remain out. He's not quite there yet. And Howe said maybe not for this one. Dan Burn, Emil Kraft, Sula, they're still out as well. Botman, Trippier, and Livermore, they were all back as subs in game week 20. And two of those, Trippier and Livermore, will of course now put pressure on Lewis Miley, who's been very, very good at right back.
Okay, and what's the latest from Leeds? There's a player here that I might get in, even though he's not going to play. But anyway, you might better inform people who that might, or guess who that might be.
Is it Rodon or
Yes,
Bogle? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm interested in getting him in. 3.9. I need a make weight for my Gabriel move.
Yes, well, yeah, he's not far away anyway. He'll be back, I think, for game week 22, if not this one. So on those two, Rodon and Bogle, they aren't completely ruled out. But Farker said yesterday that they're both making good progress. It's perhaps more realistic that they are not ready for this game, and then they will be on the other side of the FA Cup this weekend. They weren't in team training yesterday, so I think it's a long odds on that, but should be back for 22.
Yep.
Daniel James is still out. Longstaff was actually back on the bench surprisingly on Sunday, way ahead of schedule. He's not ready to start. And Ampadu was back as well from suspension.
Okay, that elevates their overall play, definitely. And Arsenal, Liverpool, big blank. A big blank here.
Yes.
This is taking place on Thursday. I'm presuming that's obviously the reason. Do we know when the press conference is and when people should know? And also, have you had any inkling, or especially around EKITIKÉ at Liverpool?
Yeah, we know start's going to be, I think, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's definitely after the deadline. And Arteta, we haven't got time yet, or I haven't seen one, but that'll be tomorrow. I don't know what time, but it'll be, again, post deadline. As for what we know with the respective teams, I mean, Arsenal, there's not much that we're concerned about. The three red flags are Calafiori, Dowman, and Mosquera. There was nothing obvious from the Bournemouth match, and Rice seemed to came through that match unscathed. I mean, so Arteta could tell us different or not in tomorrow's presser, but there's nothing that we're unduly concerned about. Liverpool, that's obviously different. We know that Isak and Leone are out long term. Salah's still at the Africa Cup of Nations because Egypt progressed last night. Endo's been sidelined for about a month. EKITIKÉ, so he missed out in game week 20, as everyone is aware. And after the match, so I saw people referring to it as DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness, which is just muscle fatigue, really. That's what Words had last week. That's why he couldn't train.
Yeah.
But if you read his quote, Slot did say that it was more than DOMS. So it wasn't just muscle soreness. It was something else that showed on the scan. I don't think it was serious.
No.
He was still talking about not taking risks. So I just think it's a little bit more serious than just a rest.
Okay.
But we don't know the extent of it. So there's obviously a bit of concern there. We will see. We'll see if there's any training pictures emerge this afternoon. I don't think there will. But there is an element of doubt, I think, regarding him.
So as far as it goes now, ahead of deadline, I, like many EKITIKÉ owners, I probably would like to keep him for the Burnley match. I think I'll bench him. I think I would bench him because I think there's a very strong risk that he would come on towards the end of the game, or at least get part of the game, and it's Arsenal, and that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But I can't see him getting 90 minutes, and I can't really see him scoring that much against Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he'll be careful with the minutes. I think Slot. Not that he's got much alternative, but he did play Wirtz through the middle on Sunday, and then he's got Gakpo now. He can play off the left.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see what happens, but I think it is more doubtful than for example Wirtz was. I'm just seeing a quote here. Yeah, I saw a fresh quote from Slot. I don't know why this is a report from. He said, if a player is not available on Sunday, is he then available in 4 days? So there's always going to be a thin line and a difficult balance. Okay. That's from BN Sports, apparently. So that sounds quite doubtful too.
Okay, rightio. But yes, so lots of questions in the live chat around bench or sell of him. I think that's going to depends on if you've got a good sub there, because it's unlikely he's going to play, or likely he's going to get any sort of significant returns there. I will try and round that up. Okay, so available Semenyo, the last game, still available for Bournemouth. Gonzalez is back, as is Ake is available, but there are, we'll come to the out column next. There's a lot of defensive outs on Manchester City there. Jacob Murphy looks like he's fine, and Huang is fine as well, even though there's a doubt there. Questionable Isidore, got a knock. Sanchez is in training. Same with Cucurella, in training as well. So they I would say they're very, very likely to be in contention to start, but we don't know, so they're questionable. Fofana illness, Minter minor chance of being back. There was a question in the live chat about do we know what the problem is with him. I don't actually know there, and also with the likes of Matoma, March, etc. When a player is injured at Brighton, they can, who knows when they get back. They could be out for months, could be back for weeks, but I think this is I think he's very near a return for a start. I don't know if he'll start this one though.
Is this Minter, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dead leg, I think. That's all it was, wasn't it? Like the scanner had come back fine. There was no serious damage. But Huxley said a minor chance for this one. So
okay, rightio. Longstaff should be back, but limited minutes, we think. Paqueta's got a back injury. Could see him back, though. Might not be. Hudson-Odoi is a wait and see, so unlikely there. Joan Victor limped off and was humiliated off as well. So we don't know whether he's going to be back. Richard's fitness problems will mean that he's in the squad, but he's probably not going to start. Sessegnon in contention at Fulham. No, he's definitely not going to start. And Mings to be assessed, as with Pau Torres, also to be assessed for Villa. Major doubt. Rodon and Bogle, they pretty much been ruled out. You never know, though. They're not 100% ruled out, but it looks like game week 22 is going to be their return. Kudos is a big major doubt with a thigh problem. Definitely out Clivert because he just had knee surgery. Gvardiol has got a leg issue that's going to keep him out possibly for the whole season, but certainly months. Diaz, muscle problems, 4 to 6 weeks. Problems there. Stones has a thigh issue, so another defender who's out. He's long term often though. Weafer's toe problems going to keep him out at Brighton. Klein has got a knock. He's probably not going to be back until game week 23 there, for those that have gone there. And Lerma has concussion, so he'll be back game week 22 because that's quite a way away. But you would think, but game week 21 he cannot play because of concussion protocol. I think I've got most things there.
I think so, Joe.
And just a reminder to people, EKITIKÉ news unfortunately is going to be coming in after the deadline, but it looks doubtful at the moment, but also it's against Arsenal, so you take of that what you will. Okay, thanks so much for joining me, Neale. I'll leave you to get back to all the articles. Thanks everyone for joining us. Good luck with the game week. See you soon.
Lovely fan.